Chris Steinbach. I'm the Deputy Director at Muscatine Center for Social Action, and I'm sitting here this morning with Chuck Blake. Chuck is a client in the MCSA Homeless Prevention Program, and we're here to talk about what led him to that program and kind of what he has accomplished since becoming a client. So Chuck, thank you for joining me this morning, and welcome to the program. How long have you been a part of the homeless prevention program? When did you first meet with Barb?
I would say almost a year ago is when we first met with her, and got set up with the housing, and took a few months before we found a house that would fit our size of our family. And
when you say we, you're talking about you and
me and my fiance Valerie Brown.
And you have
We have 7 children.
And you have how many of them that are living with you?
We have 3 currently living with us.
Okay. And so what happened that I take it you were about to lose your housing or you had lost it? Tell me a little bit about what brought you here in the first place.
Well, I'd never been on housing or anything before. I've always had a seasonal job, and which, winters were always pretty hard on us. And, we went, my fiance Valerie, she signed up for the housing, and when we got into that, she actually started schooling herself. She got through Iowa Works, and she got her Class A CDL, and got hired on at Hahn driving a ready-mix concrete truck, and which has helped our family income substantially.
Sounds like that's probably a pretty good job.
Yes, definitely a good job, and a good step forward in the right direction. And since I started my schooling after she completed hers, and
now, when you started your schooling, did you have to go back and get your GED or anything like that?
I already had my GED, got it when I was younger, and but I never thought I'd have the opportunity for college. I didn't think that was in my abilities. I never thought I'd be able to. I thought I missed that window of opportunity. Is
and
pretty
so
much what I thought. Through
the homeless prevention program, you were able to get enrolled out at Muscatine Community College. And tell me what you're studying and how far along you are with all that.
I'm studying to be an engineer tech, and it's pretty much a fancy word for factory maintenance, and that's a good steady job that's not seasonable, and it's something I really wanted to get into. I like working with my hands, and I thought that would be a good step in the right direction.
And so you finished one class for that, and you've got 3 or 4 more that you're going to take.
Yes, I completed the introduction class, which was an 8-week course, and graduated 100%. And in doing so, I was able to get another grant and continue my schooling a little more forward.
And so your goal then is to finish that and get a job at one of the factories here in town doing maintenance work?
Correct. And I found out once I started that there's no market for factory maintenance. All the employees that are currently hired are close to retirement, and they don't have any trained professionals to fill in the gaps and keep the factories running.
So you're hoping there will be an opportunity for you to do that then?
Yes.
Now, if I remember right from what Barb told me prior to your meeting with me today, you've got 7 kids between the 2 of you.
Yes.
And some of them have now gone back to school as well. Is that right?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
3 of my sons, they had dropped out of school, and they didn't get their diploma or anything, and she sat down with them. Barb Fick is an excellent woman. She's amazing. I've tried all I could do to get my kids encouraged to follow in their education, and she sat down with them, and within 15 minutes they were all on board. They signed up for their GD classes out at MCC2 and are currently going to get their GED so they can further their education.
And you would expect that they're going to go through some of the same programming that you or your wife have gone through, or what do you think they're going to do?
Yes, I have one son he's interested in the maintenance, and the other 2 aren't quite sure of which direction they want to go yet. They just want, they're glad that they're actually doing something
So what did Barb tell them, or what did she do that inspired them in a way that you weren't able to?
I'm not sure. She sat down, she took them in the other room and sat down with them, and it was something she said. I'm not sure what it was, but she has that golden way of really touching somebody.
So you never really ever lost your housing. How close to that were you think?
Well, after we'd gotten signed up, we hadn't found a home in our allotted time frame, and we had gotten 2 extensions, and we were right at we had 2 weeks left of our last extension.
To use Section 8 housing.
Yes. Yeah. Correct.
And so you found something?
Yeah, found an excellent house. It's a beautiful home, and we've never lived in anything so nice, and in doing so, it helps us move on forward in our lives, because it feels like we've taken a step up from the poverty level we was at, and in doing so, it helps inspire to even keep going forward and doing better.
Now, would you expect, it sounds to me like that once you finish the program at MCC and you get a job, it would seem that probably your combined incomes, you'd be making enough money you wouldn't be eligible for Section 8.
Yes, correct. And
you'd be totally on your own at that point.
On our own, totally self-sufficient. And as one thing I'd told Barb, that what I really appreciate what she's done for us is you can feed a man a fish, he can eat once. You teach a man how to fish, he can eat for a lifetime. Yeah. And that's
so when was the last time that you and Valerie were totally self-sufficient and not get any kind of assistance or anything like that? Have you ever been in that position before?
No, we haven't. We've of course we paid for our housing and everything. We weren't on housing, but we were struggling week to week. I mean, that's all we could pay for was rent, and just struggling to get that done, and still slowly stacking bills and getting further behind because our combined incomes were nowhere near what we needed to.
Has Barb helped you work with somebody that you've put a budget together and stuff like that, or what?
We're working on that now. We haven't. We've signed up for the classes, but we haven't actually gone to them yet. Okay. That's the next step actually, is with financial budgeting and how to maintain our bills, and they also, I guess, they have a program where they'll help us buy a house to where we can own our own home for the first time in our lives. And
so it sounds like a year ago you were really kind of struggling.
Oh yes, without a doubt. A year ago we were slowly sinking further underwater and without any direction or any know-how of how we could fix our situation.
Where do you think you'll be a year from now?
Oh, a year from now, hopefully I should be buying my own house a year from now.
Wow.
I really see that as a goal. It's something that like I said, I never thought I'd get the opportunity to without the assistance of this program, and it's done amazing things for my family. I mean, it really has.
Well, that's awesome. I don't know that I really have any other questions to ask you this morning. Is there anything about this that you'd like to tell people? I mean, if someone's out there listening to this and they're kind of in the same boat you were in a year ago, but they're reluctant to ask for help, what would you tell that person?
I would definitely tell them to come on down here. Iowa works, and just start anywhere where you can. It's one little step at a time, and just as long as you're moving forward and keep that momentum going, and life can change so much better. And to never think that you don't have the opportunity or chance to move on, because it is there. If you find the right resource, anything's possible.
Well, great, Chuck. Thank you very much, and congratulations to you. Sounds like
you're really, very much.
Really doing some good stuff. That's Chuck Blake. Chuck's a client of the MCSA Homeless Prevention Program. This has been Chris Steinbach for Muscatine Center for Social Action. Thank you for listening.